Ausra Deluard, and I wrote an article named Competition Beyond Rivalry, Adopting Merger Reviews to Address Market Realities. The article really addresses, it came from perhaps frustration that a lot of my clients share when we're going through second request merger review processes and the way that the agencies look at transactions. In many times, the way that the company thought about their strategy, what dictated what they were doing, how they viewed competition, the transaction rationales were so different from how the agencies were reviewing the acquisition. The agencies would look at a very structural, what's the market share, they hit the structural presumption, then they felt, and there might be other harms that they were evaluating as well, but that was really the cornerstone of their analysis. And it stops there. It doesn't, while they collect hundreds of thousands, if not millions of documents and all of these data points, the analysis seems to be so just rudimentary, and it fails to capture what actually goes on with strategic planning and how these businesses are thinking and why they want to do this transaction. And so I kept facing this disconnect and this frustration with my clients who are saying, look, this isn't, okay, they're defining the market this way, but we never even think of this. Like, what is this market that you're defining? That's not how we run our businesses. So that's what really prompted this article, to bring to the forefront of, if we're trying to ensure that it's a fair, level playing field and where competition really thrives, what is competition? What is it that we are trying to support? And it really, fundamentally, we want to remove any inhibition to the creative process, to something that impedes innovation, that impedes the ability for people to compete on that fair level playing field. And if our analysis of that ignores when people are competing to create unique value, how they can bring together complementary skill sets or know-how, or together could create something better, the current analysis completely, the efficiencies defense is incredibly narrowed. We don't have that really opportunity in the way, in the merger guidelines or what we've been looking at in some of the case law, to really consider some of these other market factors that contribute to how companies view competition, which is much more than just price rivalry. And so there's certainly some cases where competition is price rivalry, and that's what it's based on. But I think that competition is more of a spectrum, where you have to look at not just the price rivalry, but how much of competition is based on that drive to create unique value proposition, and then how can that transaction enable that. And if we're looking at transactions on almost like a rule of a reason basis rather than a quick look per se approach, then in a true real rule of reason analysis, we would be considering, we'd have a more in-depth analysis of what those pro-competitive benefits are that would take into consideration how the business is actually run, what the strategic business making is, and actually looking at it through the perspective of the business realities that are at the table.